I was always struck by was the fact that you were the lone woman. And whenever there was a controversy with Charlamagne or DJ Envy, there were people who held you accountable in their minds for their actions. There was the interview with Lil Mama, a rapper, Azalea Banks, an entertainer, and Monique that come to mind, where people felt that Charlamagne was being misogynistic in his tone and that you should have somehow wrangled him in. I firmly disagree with that because you're not there to police them. But people held you accountable for things that the guys, as they wrote in one article, did. Right. How did that make you feel?
And I wasn't even there when they interviewed Azalea Banks. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? But I also feel like, you know, sometimes I would feel like I got it harder than he did for something that he said. And so I also want to make it clear that we're all three individuals. You say what you say, feel how you feel, and I do too. But it's hard because people affiliate you with the whole group. Yeah. And that was part of why I really wanted to have my own show, because now what happens, I'm accountable for that. Yeah. But sometimes it's hard for people to separate that.
I want to go back to the woman part of it, because you did hit on something. Because you were the lone woman on this show, with a lot of bravado, with a lot of edge, disruptive, and that's why millions of people love the show. It seemed to me that people were always riding you.
Yeah, and, you know, I was the only woman who worked there, too. I mean, when it came to producers, camera people, and it wasn't an easy room for me to be in.
I didn't know that.
So I feel like I did need more, like, backup, you know, because even things that I felt as a woman, it is, you know, if somebody can't understand your point of view because they're not coming from where you come from. And so that was hard for me, too, to be the only woman there with nobody to be like, check somebody, you know, you shouldn't have said that like that.
Respect from the co-host, who I know respect you. But when you're the only woman in the room, and which blew me away just now, you're saying even in the production part of it.
Yeah.
You're there.
It was a lot.
I know that you made some online comments that, you know, really rebuff, like, oh, no, that's not true. And now people are taking that and running with it on social media. So do you want to clear up on your relationship or anything? Where does that stand? Or have y'all talked about it?
No, I ain't gonna clear up. I mean, you know, it's what it is. It's the truth. It's honesty. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can be honest with all your friends. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I don't like somebody or they don't like me. It's like, you know, you say something foul to me, I can say something foul to you back. It is what it is. Or you say something right to me, I'm gonna say something right to you back. I look at it like this. It's bigger than the Breakfast Club. It's bigger than Way Up With Ye. It's bigger than all that. You're talking Power 105.1, which is our home station. And my brother Clue is there.
Reflected on her time at the show and talked about being the only woman working on the Breakfast Club show. What's your reaction?
I mean, she was. I mean, it was her, Charlamagne, and myself, so she was the only woman on air. But behind the scenes, there was so many different. I mean, our boss, the actual person that pays our bills and pays our checks and hires us, is Thea Mitchum, a Hampton University graduate, by the way, who's a woman. There's a bunch of women there. I think she misspoke. I think her words were taken out of I guess, technicality, and I'm sure she'll clean it up. But there's a lot of women that work on that show. I mean, we can go from Taylor, who's a producer now, to Sydney, to Samantha, to Claudia was a producer, Sasha was a producer. There was a lot of women on there. There was a lot of diverse people on there. But, you know, I'm glad that she has her own show. She's doing well. I'm excited for her. We come on early. She comes on right after us. So, I mean, it's like anything else. Sometimes, you know what I mean, it's no problems, no beef, nothing like that. But
Yo, it's Big Ant the Spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in on Angela Yee going to Twitter and responding to what DJ Envy had to say about her Tamara Hall interview, where she said that she was the only woman that worked for the Breakfast Club. And even it got to a point where she said the producers, people behind the scenes, she was the only woman there. DJ Envy actually went to Instagram first in the comments and said, that's cap. That's just not true. And then that also led to Lil Mama coming online, calling out Angela Yee for other things. And then Erica Mena, who had something going on with Envy back in the day, calling out Angela Yee. Basically, they saying, hey, man, you playing the victim card. And I had a link in the description for the Tamara Hall show and the Michigan Chronicle, but I keep it all the way 1,000. With her and Tamara Hall in that moment, it came off as like, oh, lifting up the woman empowerment conversation like she was the only woman there. Now, Angela Yee and Tamara Hall might have not meant it to come out that way, but that's what it's perceived as, is Angela Yee was the woman up there who didn't really have a voice. And yeah, I'll agree at times she was getting cut off. There was times where she probably was getting overspoke on. It is gonna happen like that with men, so I get that part. But DJ Envy, like, hold on, her show is still on Power 105. Let's not make it seem like there's no women behind the scenes and everything like that. And gotta keep it all the way 1,000. They all partook in the BS, man. Like I said before, Angela Yee did the rumor report. You brought the mess to the table, and sometimes she grinned, and some people feel like, hey, if you grin, you in. You a part of it. Or if you ain't speaking up for women in certain conversations, you a part of that too. But she said this on Twitter. Usually I don't comment or go back and forth with people, but there's too much spinning in the room. Refer to the people in the studio, the producer, board op, videographer, and host. Yes, they are men. That doesn't mean that there aren't amazing women who are execs, salespeople, interns, and in other departments. I've said this on many occasions, that it can be hard when your viewpoint is different based on your experience. I didn't anticipate that this would cause such a firestorm. Everyone texted me, "Are you okay?" which I appreciated. And I know I don't normally take the time to over-explain because it drags things out even more, but that's all. And to keep it all the way 1,000, I did want to come on here and put Angela Yee response up because I had spoke on DJ Envy responding to what happened in the interview and everything like that. But we all came up watching the Breakfast Club, man. It was real impactful. They all had their fair share of the BS going on. I know Angela Yee probably felt at times like, man, why y'all coming down on me? And it's because, hey, at times you got to be part of the team when they say, if you green, you're in. That's a part of the game and everything like that. The show was real controversial, and that's really what took it to the next level and everything like that. As I said before, niggas used to wake up, be anticipating who they gonna have on the Breakfast Club. Go search it. Angela Yee, everybody had a role to play on the show. She played her role at times. They had their own little beats. It was time niggas was mad at Angela Yee. It was time niggas was mad at Envy. And then it was most of the time niggas was mad at Charlamagne. And that was just all part of the game. But they said it's no beef. Angela Yee has her own show on there now, on Power 105. And they steady going up, man. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot. Also, make sure you tap into the Patreon, the Urban Politicians TV. Go search Urban Politicians TV on Patreon, man. I got content dropping on there. Turn it up.